Hi, I'm Alarico. We're at the beautiful Funkhaus in Berlin, and that's where I've been making music for the past 5 years or so. I 100% agree with this. I think not only any techno lover, but any music lover must understand house. It's just such a pure genre, and it's the foundation of actually most genres. So I think any artist who can't play house can't play good techno. I'm sorry, but that's just how I see it. It actually started with tech house first, especially that like 2015, 2016 tech house. And I'm actually thankful that I started with this because it made me understand a lot about minimalism, because that was the thing that was popping off back then. And then I translated this eventually to the techno that became the techno we all know nowadays. So I'm really happy that I started with tech house, not even house. And I don't understand people who always complain about how tech house is this. Of course, any genre to a certain degree can be commercial, but I think good tech house is unbelievable. Actually, I started Kenji Hina like years ago, I think like 3-4 years ago. It wasn't necessarily a house project at first. It was more focused into some kind of old school techno. And then eventually I decided to evolve the project into house, because some of the releases I did with this alias have more house influences. So I was like, okay, why not use it to something that have a bit more of a clear distinction between what I do as Alarico and what I do as Kenji Hina. And I've just been having so much fun with it. And I have already one record planned as well that I still haven't announced yet, but you guys can have it. You can have the info. It's exclusive and just making me really inspired. The name comes from, it's actually an invented name. Kenji is a typical Japanese male name and Hina is a typical Japanese female name. I love Japan, as you can see. And it's a fictitious name, and it's inspired by the fact that I'm so in love with Japanese culture, because my aunt, she's a Christian nun that lives in Osaka. And she's been telling me about Japan when she was back in Europe from her trips. And yeah, it just became my inspiration eventually for a lot of my music, actually. Yes and no. I think it's easier to promote your music and it's easier to actually rise compared to years ago. With social media nowadays, I feel like there's less of a gatekeeping like vibe in the scene, because I think back then, if you were not playing at a certain club or if you were not releasing at a certain label, you wouldn't get the bookings that you deserve. I feel like nowadays it's quite different. I see a lot of artists just rising and getting visibility and recognition just by making music and filming themselves in their bedroom, vibing to their tracks. I mean, like, how cool is that? That you don't have to have like a medium such as a club making you resident or like a label pushing you. I believe there is much more competition nowadays. And if you're not good at social media, this can really put you down. How long does it take you to record a reel? Like 5 minutes? If the track is good, then people then would just vibe with it. So I'm halfway agreeing and halfway not in the state. So yeah. I think more than ever, being a DJ nowadays time is, you're actually a brand. Like, it's not just, okay, you just play and then you just post a picture from your set. It's much more than that now. You have to represent something. And it's something really good. People care more about what the DJ has to say outside of the club as well. And I think it's nice because then it also reflects which music someone plays. You are actually representing, at least on my end, for example, I see myself representing younger generation, the new generation. So everything I post, I don't post it lightly. I mean, I try to, because I think I'm a chilled guy in general, but it resonates with like thousands of people. So I think ultimately being a DJ in the social media era is actually a gift, because the amount of messages and the amount of love I receive, there's so much more eyes on you and there's so much more people you can inspire. And it's just, I think it's beautiful the way you can connect through your art. 100%, and I'm the ambassador of this. No, jokes aside, I'm not ashamed to say, I don't know if it's cool, but I never taken drugs in my life. From the moment I stepped in a club, I was just there for the DJ. I was like, honestly, I was not even dancing, and that's ultimately one of the reasons why I'm a DJ, because I can't dance as well. So I was just like, I want to be that guy. And I feel like it's a bit shifting the image of the DJ as well. I see a lot more DJs taking care of their health with the diet and doing more sports in general. And I think it's actually nice because it's such a demanding job, and it's super important to take care of your mental health and of your physical health. I'm just happy to be in a good shape, and this is actually helping me to sustain this career long term as well. Yeah, 100%. I mean, even myself, when I posted on TikTok, I'm like, oh, look at this rave, and it's like, this is the last thing from a rave, you know? It's just like, I think like nothing is underground anymore, and if it's underground nowadays, it's for sure not on social media. That's ultimately it. So yeah, it's a big marketing term for sure. Yes and no. I think there are still people in the scene that are trying to push the culture and push techno to the next level. Because I think techno, compared to other genres, has no limitation because of the fact that it's based on electronic music. So this will always evolve depending on human progress and technological progress. I do feel like there is some suspects in the scene that are not there for the right reason, for sure. But I'm no one to judge, so. No, I don't think so. I think, and I'm telling you, I would love to release all the tracks that I have. It's just, it's hard to release them, first of all, because nowadays, for example, I'm mostly making vinyl, for example, and this takes a lot of time and preparation. One of my best tracks, I think, is an unofficial remix that I made of a LEX track that has gone quite viral since the Upclose set, actually. I think that track will never be released because it's not the official version, and actually, just so everyone knows, I didn't get the clearance of the sample. So I might not be able to ever release it on a record. Let's see, maybe in other ways, but yeah, maybe the best track should never be released. Oh yeah, 100%. The moment I met Schler gave me a lot of direction in terms of how the quality of a standard of a track should be. The first time I met Freddie K, he really gave me a sense of calm and made me understand my true value as an artist. And I think it's beautiful how you can just influence each other just by being friends with people who you meet on stage and stuff. The same with Lobster. I remember I was, just listening to a set of his, and I was like, this guy is the fucking same house taste of mine. Like, what the fuck? Why did I not know it before? So then this actually created an even stronger friendship. It's like, it's 100% true that you can influence each other's career for the good and for the bad as well. Yeah, I agree, especially to the crowd. And you should never take for granted people buying tickets for you and people showing up to your shows. I don't understand why people complain so much about this techno lifestyle and all this stuff. Like, if you're in for it, you should be super thankful that there is an environment supporting you and supporting your career. Honestly, it's an overpaid job. I mean, you're making people dance like it's the fucking best thing in the world. The least you can do is just show appreciation and give something back to the scene. I think people who don't show love for the scene and people who don't respect the places they go, and they forget often that behind a DJ playing in a stage, there is 30 plus people working to make this possible, from the artist care, from the person who drives you to the stage. And yeah, you should just be grateful and never take anything for granted. Yeah, I agree. It's saturated sometimes with the wrong people, I think. And I even put myself in one of these. I'm not saying I'm not an artist, but I am aware of the fact that I get booked also because of my social media statistics. It's just the way it is. I'm smart enough, I think, to invest in social medias, and I think someone who doesn't, I'm not saying it's stupid, but that's just how things works. Yeah, it's true that there are a lot of DJs, and not every one of these DJs is necessarily an artist. To those people who complain about this, I'm asking them, how do you define an artist? That's also a question that doesn't have an answer, so it's a combination of things. I think is first and foremost how you present yourself on social media, because this is the first instance where people will see you most of the time. Even I myself, sometimes I often like find really good track ideas just on social media, just on TikTok, scrolling, oh, this track is sick, like, you know? And at first I was like, why am I digging techno on TikTok, you know? You always often hear about this TikTok techno and stuff. Like, what's wrong with it, you know? Representing the new generation is about first being aware of what is currently happening. And secondly, I don't think there's really like a technical aspect that translates to my music. I think it's more about, yeah, just all in all, what you represent for. Of course, I try not to repeat like techno that has been already done 1,000 times before. That's also another aspect that I try to keep in mind when I'm making music. For me, what defines an artist is the ability of completely detach from outside noise when performing. I'm not there yet, but, and might be a bit of a controversial statement, but like a true artist is a sort of like dictator. Like, this is what I want, this is my vision. You don't align with it, it's not my problem, this is just who I am. If you don't like it, just leave. It's actually the truest form of art, is something that is a reflection of who you are and not what the scene expects you to be. Because a lot of time, I think people make music just to kind of please a certain standard or please a certain aesthetic. Same with the DJ set, you know. On the other hand though, you shouldn't play blindfolded because people paid to see you, and you should be grateful that there is people, so don't make them leave the stage as well. So, I don't know. I think we can expect a bit more of a cheeky and playful vibe for the Kenji Hina one, because I believe it's quite an earlier slot as well. I won't push too hard, just a bit more bouncy and grooving. And then with the set for Ben, of course, it will be techno. What we can expect is the purest and more modern form of techno you can think of, because I think Ben ultimately is the pinnacle of techno. Is like one of my favorite artists ever, and he's just so relevant in what he does. So I think you can just expect the best techno that is currently downloadable on the internet. My ones to watch at Upclose for the Saturday, for sure the Hayes Collective. I love the guys. I think they're some of the best producers and DJs, and the fact that they will go face to face, it's really interesting. And for the Sunday, I will go a bit more housey. I love Sam Alfred, and also I think Paranoid London Live will be very interesting, yeah.